everyone. Good evening. क्या हाल चाल है सबके? I hope everyone is safe and doing good. I, Yash Dugar, founder of Crest Research and Educare. I welcome all the viewers to today's webinar. I hope everyone is safe and doing good. Okay. So just a quick yes on the chat box if my voice is clear to everyone. Hi everyone. Okay, perfect. Great. Thank you so much for joining once again for another enriching webinar. Today again we have one great speaker with us who will be teaching us about some great insights on mutual funds as well as financial planning. But before we start every webinar, I give you a life lesson. Of course, happy Dashera, happy Durga Puja to everyone. Because today is a great day where Lord Ram had won and came back to India. So it's a great day for all of us. Okay. So as we start every webinar with a life learning. So today's life learning is a very important one, which I feel is very important. Okay. We get what we desire. We get what we desire, but actually we get what we deserve. So actually what happens is we want what we desire, but we get actually what we deserve. Okay. So that is the statement what I wanted to make. And that's a very important statement. Why? Because we always desire much higher for all of us, but we actually get what we deserve and what we actually do in terms of our karma. So karma is a very important thing, which I totally believe on, which is, of course, in English, if I call that's your deeds which we do. If we do good deeds, if agar hum log acha kaam karte to we get good things in our future. If we do bad things right now, we get bad things for our future. Okay, so your future things are totally dependent on what you do right now, and that is why it is very important. Like today we had shared also, I just shared the screen also where I shared the 10 things which you should do for your investments. So if you're doing right, if you're investing the right stocks, if you're doing the right karma, then your stocks will definitely do good. But if you are becoming greedy, if you are trying to buy stocks which are at lows, which are penny stocks, so maybe you don't get that much returns. So be it investments, be it your life, it is very important that if you do good karma, you will deserve higher. But if you do bad karma and if you earn money unethically, then of course your money won't grow, and of course achieving big things in life won't be very much easy. Okay, great. So before we start the webinar, as I tell every webinar, that if you believe on this and if you believe on the statement, right, I believe or I pledge that if you that from today you will try to do as much good karma as possible, maybe in terms of your business, in terms of investments as well, in terms of your portfolio as well, because your portfolio also needs good stocks, not bad ones. Okay, great. So once again, I'm getting a lot of I pledges. Thank you so much. Okay, great. So before starting the webinar, once again, happy Dashera to everyone who has joined us on Zoom as well as Facebook. Thank you so much everyone for joining. So today we have a great speaker with us who will be sharing his enriching knowledge about mutual funds, about financial planning. So welcome Mr. Saurav Jain. Warm welcome to you, Saurav. I'll just unmute you so that you can start speaking. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and start speaking.
Thanks. Thank you, Yash, for having me here on this Dashera evening. Really excited and looking forward to have a very healthy interaction.
Sure, great. So before we start, I would like to introduce Mr. Saurav Jain. Of course, I call him Saurav because I've been knowing him for the past many years. He has been doing some great work in the financial freedom field. So Saurav Jain is a MBA and a CFA, and he has been doing a great work in terms of educating people on financial planning. He is the co-founder of the Debt Volatility Game, which is a great game on the debt market. And of course, he's a volatility coach. He has been inspiring people to invest through mutual funds. He has been guiding people in terms of how to churn their money from their actual mutual fund investments to the right way, maybe in terms of debt market, debt mutual fund, maybe in terms of equity, mid cap, small cap, etc., etc. So he's been guiding the people in the right way so that people make the highest amount of returns possible in terms of mutual funds. Of course, he has recently written a book also, which I think he'll be speaking about. And once again, congratulations to you for that, writing that book on financial wellness. So a warm welcome to you, Saurabh Bhaiya. And I think today our users will learn a lot about how they can select the right mutual funds for their investments. Because ये question I think सबके पास रहता है कि चलो मुझे म्यूचुअल फंड में इन्वेस्ट करना है, चाहे वो SIP हो, चाहे वन टाइम हो, बट मैं कौन सा फंड में इन्वेस्ट करूँ, किस तरीके से उसका एनालिसिस करूँ, या मुझे फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग कैसे करनी चाहिए कि मुझे कितना फंड चाहिएगा आफ्टर आई एम रिटायरमेंट, या मुझे रिटायरमेंट फंड कितना होना चाहिए मेरा आइडियली. So there will be a lot of questions, I think, for all our users. So before we start the actual topic, I want you to share your journey in terms of कि कैसे आपने financial journey अपनी start की MBA से, then CFA, then you were working for some corporates, and then from there now you are working on your own, you are guiding people, you are managing mutual funds portfolios. So just take us through that journey in a very candid way.
Thank you, Yash, once again for having me here, and thank you for the kind words. So, as I said, God has been very kind. So, I started my career with ICICI Bank in Treasury. I think that was the biggest learning, because working in Treasury of banks like ICICI and and Axis, so it gives you a lot of good insights and give you a lot of good knowledge in terms of be it debt market, be it Treasury, foreign exchange. So that's where it began. So I was there with ICICI Bank couple of years. I was there with Axis Bank, and for 5 years I was with Shrey Infrastructure. That's again an NBFC based out of Calcutta. And after that, since last 4 years, I quit my job and I just thought of starting my own venture. So I started off with this financial consultancy, financial planning, and as I said, fortunately things have turned very well. So now we are managing more than, I think, 500 plus clients with a very, very decent AUM. And during this lockdown, I think the major transformation happened in me. If I look at myself as a financial advisor, first, whatever my learning has been there in last 4 years, interacting with people, doing a lot of assignments with corporate employees in terms of understanding their financial planning, helping them to do their financial planning. So it just got translated into a book. I just got to do a deep dive exercise, and finally, it came into a very beautiful book, which is named as Financial Wellness Cinematics. It became an Amazon bestseller, which I never thought of. In fact, people who are very close to me, they even could not believe that I could end up writing a book. So, and taking it to the bestseller was something like beyond imagination. And plus, the intensity which goes in writing a book, that takes you to do a deep dive exercise into the field which you are, and that has again helped me in terms of enhancing my knowledge, education, and similarly imparting it to the client. So pre-COVID level, I would say the way we used to guide our clients, the way we used to manage the portfolio, and post-COVID, I think things have changed a lot. So we have also invested a lot in our knowledge enhancement, a lot of platforms, a lot of new softwares we have also added, so that we can give a good research-based advice to our clients rather than just based upon the emotions and backend data. So that's a quick summary of how things have moved across.
So you have been very generous about mentioning that, but again, writing a book is not an easy task, and especially the way you have written. And even I've ordered once for myself for reading it, and I'm absolutely great. Once again, congratulations, because it has been a bestseller on Amazon, on various platforms. So great. Once again, congratulations for that. जैसे आपने बताया कि the journey you started with from Axis, ICICI Bank, and then to Shrey, and then you are doing managing portfolios right now. So the most important thing I want you to answer is what was the learning that you got in ICICI Bank which helped you right now in your knowledge purpose, in your dealing purpose, or maybe how professionally you are dealing with the portfolios, as you told. So just get us through that, so that we have a lot of young people who are doing MBAs, who are doing CFAs right now. So what guidance would you like to give them, that so that they also get to work maybe in some corporates, and later on, of course, everyone has a passion or has a vision to start on their own. So what would be your guidance for that, and what were the learnings? Because I think that is very important for you to share.
Sure. I would just request you to disable the waiting room. Some people were there. Okay. Just do that.
Yeah, I'm taking care of that. Not an issue.
Okay, sure. Perfect. So, as you said, the guide, as I said, being in treasury, it gives you a global exposure, because once you work in treasury, you focus more towards the bond, the NCDs, and foreign exchange market. And when you have a foreign exchange exposure, everything comes into it, be it equities, be it debt market, and that actually helped me in terms of looking things from a global perspective. Normally, what we do, if you are into equity stocks, we are typically into either end up rotating around Indian stocks or specific sectors. But once you work in treasury, so the overall horizon is very, very broad. So that actually helped me in terms of getting knowledge and insights about both debt market, foreign exchange market, and equities. So I think that was the biggest takeaway.
Great. So I think that would have given you a lot of exposure in terms of how these things are managed, and of course how to actually do it professionally. So one more question that comes to my mind, right, which I think is very, very important, is how did you choose this path of mutual funds? Because a lot of people are more attracted to stocks, to currencies, to derivatives, but mutual fund is one industry where you don't get to invest directly into something. But again, it's an important one, because a lot of people need the right guidance and the right thing. And of course, जो हमारा ad है mutual fund सही है, so is it actually सही है or is it not? So that's the main question.
Very interesting question, Yash. So the idea was not as such that I wanted to be into a mutual fund, or I wanted to start off my own financial journey. So what I identified that it is one of the best suited product. Why it is a best suited product? Because आज के दिन में क्या होता है, people used to invest traditionally into insurance product. आप लगा दो और लगा के भूल जाओ 10 साल 15 साल, and वो returns आते हैं 5% 6%, और अगर आप देखो इन्फ्लेशन आज के दिन में 8 से 10% है. So you need another alternative product as 8 to 10%. So उसमें फिर आपका कहीं ना कहीं stocks एक आ जाता है कि you need to manage it through stocks effectively, वो आ जाता है. अब stocks manage करने के लिए क्या होता है? See, most of the people who are retail clients, especially those who are into salary, they don't have time to put so much of efforts into stocks, और वो इतना risk appetite नहीं रहता है, इतना time नहीं रहता है. सबसे most important thing है time नहीं रहता है. And plus that risk appetite is not there, because traditionally we have been investing into FDs and this PF and third apna insurance product. So as an entry product, I think mutual fund is one of the best product which gives you overall diversification. आज म्यूचुअल फंड एक ऐसा प्रोडक्ट है कि अगर आपको एफडी करना है, एफडी का अल्टरनेटिव आपके पास डेट फंड है which is highly tax efficient. सिंपल, अगर कोई न्यू क्लाइंट है तो आप वहां ऑन बोर्ड कर लो, he can get आराम से उसको 20% टैक्स का बेनिफिट मिल जाता है, आफ्टर 3 years इंडेक्सेशन बेनिफिट है. If clients want to invest into equities, then you have again categories large, mid and small. So depending upon the risk appetite, you can choose. Plus, अगर gold में invest करना, you can do through that. International fund, you can do through it. So now mutual fund has just become a one single basket, whereby it is not only in equities, but एक बहुत convenient mode है जहाँ पे आपने एक SIP लगा दी, और एक सैलरीड एम्प्लॉय या जो भी डिसिप्लिन वे में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहते हैं कि फर्स्ट को मेरा इनकम आया, विद इन 10th मेरे जिस एसेट एलोकेशन एक पोर्टफोलियो में डिवाइड हो जाए. So that is why it has a convenience, it is very transparent, and it is very cost efficient. So that's what I opted to use it as a vehicle.
True, absolutely. जो आपने बोला जो म्यूचुअल फंड्स के बारे में कि of course people don't have time to invest into particular stocks, they don't have the time to research, and of course mutual fund gives them a platform to invest in the markets where some knowledgeable people are managing their money through mutual funds, right? Great. So again, I'm coming to one question which I feel again is very, very important, which is the second part of our webinar, that is the importance of a financial plan. And actually, what is a financial plan all about? Because I know we'll be discussing this in details, but a quick अगर आप just take insight दो कि financial plan क्या है और उसका importance क्या है, because a lot of people don't know in fact कि financial plan क्यों बनाना चाहिए, उसका आगे जाके आपके लाइफ में क्या importance हो सकता है, या how beneficial you can be once you have a good financial plan ready.
Perfect. So I'll just ask a question with the audience. अगर हम घूमने जाते हैं, do you plan? कितने लोग कहीं घूमने जाते हैं तो पहले से प्लानिंग करते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ बुकिंग अ होटल और साइट सीइंग बुक करते हैं और XYZ हम लोग टिकट्स बुक करते हैं डेफिनेटली 3 महीने 4 महीने पहले बुक कर लेते हैं टिकट्स. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू प्लान बिफोर गोइंग और बिफोर टेकिंग अ हॉलीडे? आप थोड़ा
ये क्वेश्चन थोड़ा सा गलत टाइम पे पूछ लिया, कोविड के टाइम पे सब पुराना घूमना याद आ गया.
yeah. So how many of you plan effectively?
I think everyone, yes, we
Yes,
plan.
most of us plan. ठीक है. But क्या होता है when it comes to our own life और हमारे यहाँ पर प्लानिंग कहीं ना कहीं जाके गड़बड़ा जाती है. अगर मैं पूछूं यहाँ पे कितने लोगों ने अपना फाइनेंशियल प्लान बनाया है. फाइनेंशियल प्लान क्या आपको एक रोड मैप देता है अपने फाइनेंशियल जर्नी की. से सपोज 1 साल के बाद अगर आपको एक गाड़ी खरीदनी है, बाइक खरीदनी है, तो क्या आप उसके लिए सेविंग्स कर रहे हो कि नहीं इफेक्टिवली. आज से 5 साल के बाद से सपोज आपको एक घर खरीदना है तो उसके लिए यू नीड डाउन पेमेंट. और वो डाउन पेमेंट अगर 50 लाख का घर है, 10 लाख रुपए आपको डाउन पेमेंट तो करना है, वो बैंक नहीं देगा. उसके लिए आर यू सेविंग्स और नॉट. 10 साल. और मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम. व्हाट आई फाउंड इज दैट पीपल सारा टाइम आप देखोगे एक एजुकेशन लोन से स्टार्ट होता है लाइफ. उसके बाद वो पे करते करते हाउसिंग लोन आ जाता है. हाउसिंग लोन पे करते करते जब तक खत्म करते उनके बच्चों की वापस एजुकेशन लोन या फिर कुछ भी जो अलग जरूरतें हैं वो स्टार्ट हो जाती है. कहीं ना कहीं फाइनेंशियल फ्रीडम बोलते हैं ना कि हमारे खुद के लिए हम निवेश करना कहीं ना कहीं भूल जाते हैं. सारा फोकस फैमिली मेंबर्स हो गए इनके लिए उसके लिए चला जाता है. कभी कोई इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन आती है घर में तो सेविंग सारा तोड़ना पड़ जाता है. बट कहीं ना कहीं we tend to forget ourselves, and that is something very important, and that is why financial planning बहुत जरूरी है. प्लानिंग क्या करता है? यश एक जीपीएस की तरह काम करता है. अगर आपके पास एक मैप है तो आपको अगर यहाँ से इफ यू वांट टू गो टू फ्रॉम कैलकाटा टू एनी प्लेस, से फॉर एग्जांपल खड़गपुर या पकड़ लीजिए दीघा भी जाना है, इफ यू हैव अ जीपीएस आप एकदम स्मूथ राइड लेके चले जाओगे. अगर जीपीएस नहीं है आप 2-3 बार टर्न करोगे, फिर आगे जाओगे, पीछे जाओगे. और जीपीएस होने से क्या अगर गलत टर्न भी हुआ ना, दैट जीपीएस गर्ल विल से टेक अ यू टर्न, यू आर ऑन द रॉन्ग डायरेक्शन. दैट्स व्हाट प्लानिंग हेल्प्स यू. ये आपकी जर्नी को बहुत स्मूथ बनाता है. सिंपल. अगर आप हॉलीडे प्लान करके जाते हैं तो आप देखिए सब कुछ ठीक रहता है. अगर बिना प्लान किए आप जाइए तो देखिए कहीं ना कहीं आप भले ही आपको फ्लाइट की टिकट मिल गई, वहां जाके होटल बुकिंग नहीं मिलेगी. होटल अगर मिल गया तो साइट सीइंग प्रॉपर्ली नहीं कर पाएंगे, मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ सीजन एंड ऑल, या कोई दिन कुछ बंद रहता है. सो प्लानिंग इज समथिंग वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड बेस्ड अपॉन जितना मैंने लास्ट 5 साल में आई थिंक आई हैव इंटरेक्टेड विद 2000-3000 प्लस पीपल, आई हैव फाउंड दैट 80% लोगों का फाइनेंशियल प्लान नहीं बना हुआ है. एंड इट इज जस्ट मियरली डिले, मतलब कि हाँ कर लेंगे, हाँ ठीक है. तो दैट इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
True. So before we start, before I give you the floor, the one last question which came to my mind, which I think a lot of people usually ask me, सब मुझे पूछते हैं कि while investing into a mutual fund, is it necessary कि हमारा fund important है कि हमारा time of investment important है? Because a lot of people tell me कि नहीं सर 10 साल के लिए कर देते हैं कोई भी fund वो perform करेगा ही करेगा. Is it that true or is it कि नहीं मुझे एक सही right fund चाहिए या मुझे एक right advisor चाहिए जो मुझे एक right fund बताए, so that my investment grows exponentially in the next 10-15 years, whatever time I'm investing. So how does it work?
या दो चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड टाइम एंड अगेन वी हैव आल्सो लर्नड. इनफैक्ट एज अ फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर आई हैव आल्सो लर्नड अ वेरी हार्ड वे. बहुत इजीली मैंने नहीं सीखा है, कई धक्का खा के सीखा है, कई पोर्टफोलियो गलत भी हुए हैं, गलत तरीके से मैनेज हुए हैं. उन सबको करते हुए वी हैव लर्नड एंड वी हैव कम टू अ कंक्लूजन कि एसेट एलोकेशन एंड पोर्टफोलियो रीबैलेंसिंग इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एसेट एलोकेशन करना बहुत जरूरी है एंड पोर्टफोलियो को टाइम टू टाइम रीबैलेंस करना. डेट, इक्विटी, अगर कोई एसेट क्लास एक्सपेंसिव है वहां से निकल के जो एसेट क्लास सस्ता है वहां जाना ये जरूरी है. बिकॉज अभी क्या हो गया यश, मार्केट का साइकिल बहुत छोटा हो गया है. आप देखिए अगर बुल रन आता है, 1 साल का बुल रन आता है, फिर उसके बाद आप देखिए तुरंत करेक्शन आ जाता है 6 महीना, फिर एक शार्प मूव आता है. तो अगर आपको रीबैलेंसिंग नहीं करोगे ना, यू विल मिस आउट ऑन दैट पार्ट. वो एक पार्ट आप पूरा मिस आउट कर जाओगे एंड दैट इज समथिंग वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. तो नाउ इवन योर म्यूचुअल फंड पोर्टफोलियो नीड्स स्लाइट एक्टिव मैनेजमेंट, कि आप उसको 6 महीना 1 साल में रिव्यू करो. क्योंकि पहले ऐसा था कि हम 5 इयर्स तक भी करते थे तो चल जाता था, बट नाउ इट नीड्स स्लाइट एक्टिव मैनेजमेंट, व्हिच इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
Great, great. So I think some great insights already provided by Saurav Bhaiya, where he has told the importance of a financial plan, the importance of having the right fund, the importance of rebalancing, which is again very important. The word asset allocation, I think, ये तो बहुत ही important. In fact, I also totally believe in that. कि आप you cannot always be there 100% on equities or 100% on debts. थोड़ा बहुत आपको करना पड़ेगा, especially considering the smaller cycles of the bulls and the corrections that we get in the market. So now, without wasting more time, I think I would like to give you the floor so that you share some great insights on how to select the right mutual funds and how to make a financial plan, because I think that is very important for everyone to learn. And I think सबके मन में बहुत सारे questions भी होंगे, so we'll take those questions at the end. Don't worry. But if you have any questions in the between, you can ask, and I'll convey it to Saurav Bhaiya through the chat box. Okay. So all
Okay.
yours. Great.
Thank you, Yash. And some request has come to continue in English. I'll tend to do that. Thank you.
Do it in English, Hindi and
Yeah,
English.
sure. Yeah, sure. And thank you for saying it upfront. Yeah. So great. So I'll just touch upon few slides and then I'll simply move into fund selection procedure. So I'll not spend more time on theory or gyan. I think this is a very important slide, which is the current situation. Today, agar aap dekho, if you see, this is the current situation of most of the people. Just look at this graph. So the red line is what? This is our standard of, this is our savings pattern. And the above line is the standard of living. The red one, sorry. Yeah, this is the standard of living. So what happens, Yash, initially, even if we are not earning, friends, even if we are not earning, there is a certain standard of living which all of us maintain, correct? So standard of living generally will be high, even if you are not saving. But what is being witnessed with most of the youngsters, when they start saving, gradually they fall into this credit card, debt and EMI trap. And because of that, they are not able to save much and the savings pattern does not grow because we don't know, but at the end, we end up paying 15 to 18% when it comes to a credit card and other EMIs. And due to this, what happened? The stress level increases very, very, to a great extent. बहुत ज़्यादा हद तक stress level increase हो जाता है. Why? Because we have increased our standard of living. As soon as we got a job, we bought a car, we bought an Apple phone, we bought XYZ stuff, and we are just spending. So what is happening? Stress level is getting increased. Your standard of living definitely will keep on increasing the kind of lifestyle which you have chosen, but your savings is not growing. So you will be able to manage definitely. But a time will come probably, when your source of income will exhaust, then there will be a huge gap between your standard of living and your savings. So this is something which is very important. This is the biggest problem which I'm seeing with all the youngsters, their savings pattern, the standard, because of there is a huge upswing in increase in the standard of living. What is the right measure? We will definitely come. And how can we reduce this stress? And once the stress happens, they are not able to perform in their job also. And the life, becomes very, very confusing, I would rather say. So इसको ठीक करने के लिए, in order to rectify it, what one should do? We should have a financial lakshya of life. As I said that, having a lakshya is very important. And this is one of my favorite movie, Lakshya, where, all of you have seen that, where Ritik initially does not have any lakshya. And one day her friend, Preeti Zinta, said her, तुम्हारे जीवन में कोई लक्ष्य नहीं है. The day he became determined and he said this dialogue that, Romy, you always used to say, I don't have any lakshya in life, but now my today lakshya is peak 5179. That is something very, very important. Identify your financial lakshya of life, my dear friends, बहुत जरूरी है. And how you can do that? How you can do that? Simply, this is a simple financial planning pyramid. If you just look at the left side, first element is protection. And what comes into protection? You need a term insurance. Still, most of the people I find, I found that, they are investing in traditional endowment plan, where neither they are getting a decent life coverage, nor they are getting a decent return on their portfolio. So friends, please come out of it, have a term insurance, have a health insurance, and create an emergency fund. This emergency fund is lacking in portfolio of almost most of the people. Especially what I've seen, what salary comes on first, by 20th, almost all the money gets exhaust either in traveling, in online shopping, XYZ. So there is a very small element of emergency fund which is being left in the bank, and we have seen what happened in COVID. I'll just throw up a data, friends. 6,000 crores, not sorry, 4,500 crores of PF fund has been withdrawn during COVID. Why? Because people did not have emergency fund. Some of them have to relocate, XYZ issues were there. Please create emergency fund. Now the question will come, what should be the quantum corpus of emergency fund? Say suppose if your monthly household expense is 50,000, 50,000 into 5 months, 2,50,000 approximately you should always have in your liquid fund FDs, which can be liquidated at any point of time, and that can be utilized for any contingency purpose. And once you have maintained this protection element, it becomes very, very strong. This pillar is strong. Move to the second pillar, accumulation phase. There comes the investing. And how do we need to invest? Just identify your risk taking ability and do asset allocation. I'll tell you in next 5 minutes, I'll take you to a software whereby we'll try and analyze a fund. We will review a portfolio and we will see how it can be done. Asset allocation, portfolio rebalancing, how it can be done. Third comes the, as I said, distribution. Many a times we have seen that people don't do proper will, they don't do proper retirement planning, and after they are no more, their inheritance become a mess, and people just fight for it. We have seen in Birla Lodha's case and lot of cases that So please distribute and please have proper allocation. Have nominee assigned to all your folios. We get so many cases whereby they have invested, nominee is not there, and now even the children are not able to get that fund. So much legal hassle, so much complication. So please ensure that you have done proper nominations, etc. That is being done. And once you do that, what will happen? So this is the ideal life stage. So what happens, as again as I said, that our standard of living definitely will be higher even we are not working. The moment we start saving, and just see in this slide, standard of living should rise gradually. There should not be a sudden spike that first salary mila and you just end up shopping and taking an EMI. So what is happening? Consistently increase your standard of living, your savings will also consistently go up, and there will be a time when power of compounding will start playing, friends. And power of compounding, let me tell you, it is the eighth wonder of the world as told by Einstein. And what Einstein has said, those who understand it will earn it, but those who will not understand, they will have to pay for it. So this is something very, very important. And the moment you see that power of compounding starts working in your portfolio, that multiplication of a portfolio starts very, very well. And there will be a time when you will see that your savings will cut your standard of living. And this is the time when you have attained financial freedom. This is the time when whatever you want to do, you want to pursue your hobby, you want to do XYZ things in your life, you would be able to do. Because life ka sara stress chala gaya hai yahan par. The moment your savings has surpassed and your daily livelihood you can maintain out of your savings, I think all the stress will eventually go off. So that is something very, very important. So this is what we should strive to attain financial freedom. I think jitne bhi log yahan par hai, all the people who are there, please ensure if you save 20 to 30% of your income, I can definitely assure that you will be able to achieve your financial freedom. You will be able to create your own financial clone. Say for example, let's take example today. Say Yash is there. If Yash saves very properly for next 10-15 years, what will happen? Another Yash will create. He will create his clone. One income Yash will get out of his investments. Another income Yash will get out of his investment income. So making that first clone is very difficult, but uske baad the power of compounding starts working very well, and this goes up, at a very, very astronomical level. And that is why we have seen with wealthy people, creating that first few stones is difficult, but once you do that, multiplication happens very, very fast. Perfect. I'll not go too much into.
That is a very, very important point you have told.
Yeah.
Like even Warren Buffett told us that till the age of 40, 45, he was nothing in terms of his portfolio. And then the power of compounding started. And then, of course, we all know how much he's there.
Yes. Yes. So till 40, whatever he is having, it was not even 10%. till the age of 40, and the multiplication started having very well. Why asset allocation is very important and why portfolio rebalancing is very important. As I said, as an advisor, we also do the same mistake before. If a client used to come and says that, we want to invest 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, we used to give them one large cap mutual fund, one multi cap mutual fund, one mid cap and one small cap. And we used to say asset allocation ho gaya. That is a mistake which as a financial advisor, I have also done in my journey. But of late, we have also realized that no, this is not a proper asset allocation. Asset allocation is diversifying money into different baskets, debt, gold, equities, international funds, and different buckets. Like today, we are also putting some money into gold funds also. Not gold, in fact, crude oil fund, because crude as an asset right now is available very, very cheap. So we are recommending and we are putting some money into crude because it is available very low. And we feel when global economy will revive, traveling will start, crude in a portfolio should give a decent return. So now there are multiple options through simple SIP mode. You can invest in all kind of products. As I said, gold, international fund, in fact, oil funds, XYZ, everything can be done. Let me just quickly move on to the process, how fund should be selected, and how a portfolio review is being done, what we used to do earlier, and how we can do it in a better way. So let's quickly understand. So there are certain websites, certain paid softwares which we are using in terms of identifying the process, the way we should choose the right fund. So let's take uh, a simple example. Okay, let me just take simple example. Let me just open a whiteboard. I think it would become very interesting. Uh, so what are the qualities? If you have to create a portfolio, as I said, asset allocation is very important. So let me share my experience. So for a portfolio, 20%, if we put it in debt fund, I think is a decent one. So 20% of the portfolio should be into debt funds. It can be into debt, PPF, FD. Say, for example, I'm assuming if you are saving 100 rupees, okay, if someone is saving 100 rupees, 20% should go into debt, PFs, etc. 10% should go into gold. 10% should go into international equities. 30% we can simply pull it in equities, and balance 10% equities, where we usually prefer multi-cap instead of large, mid, or small. So multi-cap, it gives a fund the flexibility to move into large, mid, and small as per the their various baskets. 90%, and balance 10%, it completely depends upon a person's willingness. Suppose if I can see some names out here, Kamal, Chintan. So suppose if Kamal is a very aggressive guy and he says that no, I'm okay with 40% equity. So we will give him and push a 40% equity for him. We can give him a mid-cap fund or something like that. But on the other hand, say suppose there is a lady who is saving her hard-earned money and she does not want to take much risk. So maybe we can increase the risk of the portfolio maybe to 30-40% into debt fund, something like that. So that's how the entire asset allocation should be. Many a times this question come, how should we decide the overall asset allocation? You can also take balance funds also, balance advantage. There are certain funds whereby funds has a they manage it. When the market is up, they put it into equities. They are more into equities, and market goes down, they can change the asset allocation of the portfolio. So these are managed by funds. This balanced advantage fund. So these are actively managed by mutual funds. So traditionally, these funds as a category, they have done very, very well. So somebody who does not want to go again into 100% equities, a certain element of balance can be added. But if this is an overall asset allocation, I will run a portfolio for you, a scenario where you will get to see that, in fact, even the worst time, in fact, this current year when equity market was virtually negative, if we maintain this portfolio with this asset allocation, overall return can be between 18 to 20%, has been 18 to 20%. So we have done some back testing, and I will just show you the result. You would really be amazed that how asset allocation works. बहुत बार क्या होता है, many a times we ask client that put into gold. They said no, I don't want to put into gold. Gold is overpriced. I'm saying I'm creating a portfolio for 10 years, not for now. So many a times we tell people to put it into debt funds. They are not very comfortable. But don't take it as a part that I want an aggressive portfolio. There's nothing called aggressive. There is nothing called defensive. And plus, one very important thing here is that if you are willing to take higher risk, that does not translate into higher returns. Again, higher risk does not translate into higher returns. That is something very, very important.
I think sort of a 20% is still left. So 20%.
So wait, I was coming to that balance part actually. I was sorry, I just missed out that. I was coming to it can be a balance fund, and balance can be this 10% it completely depends upon your scenario. It completely depends upon the way a person wants. If he wants more to be skewed towards debt, less to be too skewed towards debt. So this portfolio should give a client a very, very, a decent stuff. So that is the reason why asset allocation is very important. And now comes after asset allocation, what comes is portfolio rebalancing. Abhi, what happens? Say suppose 100 rupees we have divided in this manner. This year, let's assume that gold fund has performed very, very well, and almost gold assume karte hain 50,000 to 75,000 ho gaya. Gold has moved to 75,000. So what will happen? Your allocation into gold will increase very drastically because gold has given a 50% return. If you include the return, what will happen? Weightage of the gold in entire portfolio will go up very, very drastically. Let's assume we give 30% to debt. Okay, we give 30% to debt. And so suppose gold has given very good return. Gold weightage has gone up on the overall portfolio, and equity has not performed well. And equity weightage has come down to 25%. So what you have to do, you have to book profits from gold. आपको क्या करना है? You have to book profits in gold fund because your allocation should be 10%. Once the corrections is happening, not a very easy job. You will not be able to catch the top, catch the bottom, but at least once a year we can do this periodic rebalance. If gold has gone up 15%, we can book profit into gold and we can move to equities, if equities is available cheaper. As I said, that crude fund, that 10 balance 10%, at this point of time can also be allocated to the crude fund because crude is down. So book profit and put it into some asset class which is available cheap. So I'll just show
elaborate about one or two crude funds because Facebook पे भी एक दो जन पूछ रहे हैं on Zoom. I think also one or two people are asking.
Okay, so there is DSP World Energy Fund is there. Okay, so this is the only fund which has a crude. You can play crude with this fund, so you don't have to go to derivatives market. So DSP, earlier its name was DSP BlackRock. Now BlackRock is no more. So DSP World Energy Fund is there. So you can use that. Okay. Now let me just come to process of fund selection. So once we have done this, so now what I think this is visible to all.
Yes.
Yeah, screen. So I'll just take you to a portfolio. So let's assume there is a portfolio. Okay, and this is a live portfolio of, say, for example, of a client. So what has happened? This is a portfolio which a person is running for last 10 years. Okay, the person is running this portfolio from last 10 years. And we know that Top 100 has been a very, very good fund initially, but now it is not performing and good SIP was going. So what has happened? See, this fund, these two fund weightage has actually gone up to 50%. And so there is ICICI Top 100, HDFC Hybrid, Birla Frontline, DSP Opportunities, Blue Chip. So what has happened? Client is having a view that, I have put money into 6 different buckets and my portfolio is very well diversified. हमने 6 fund ले लिया है, so I have done diversifying the assets. But if we look at the performance of all these 6 funds, if you just look at, the average return of last 5 years has been around 6%, which is almost equal to an, I would say, an FD or something like that. Our last 3 year average return is very, very poor, because we are thinking we have taken 6 funds, but actually you have taken only 2 funds. Why you have taken 2 funds? See, look at the correlation. Correlation means what is the commonality between 2 funds. So let's look at this 2 fund. Almost 94% these are common. If you look at Axis Blue Chip and Builder Frontline, again 95% stuffs are common. So most up, but we have felt that we have 6 funds, but look at the correlation, it is almost more than 90%. So the fund selection has not been correct, and plus look at the weightage which 2 fund has actually gone. It has gone beyond 50%. So again, we have taken a huge risk on the entire portfolio, and because of that, the return has not been satisfactory. And we feel, as I said initially, everybody does this mistake. So what can be done? So I'll just again share one suggested portfolio. So yeah, value versus growth we will take on. So abhi isi ka whatever funds has been taken, let us do again a fund analysis. Okay, let us go to the fund and let us compare all the funds, and let us analyze the risk return part of this portfolio. Okay, so now just look at the risk return analysis. BAF, ICICI Balanced Fund. As I said, balance category, it does debt and equity mix. So just look at the kind of risk. ये x-axis में risk है, and y-axis which is being plotted, there is an annualized return. Okay. So look at the kind of return that the fund has generated. Almost 11% CAGR return has come, and with such a very low risk. Your standard deviation, which determines the risk of the overall portfolio, has been very low. So risk adjusted return has been very, very high in this portfolio. But vis-a-vis, just compare HDFC hybrid, probably, where the risk is 16% and the return is 8%. So as I said, higher risk does not lead to higher return. Let's look at Mirai. It is taking the same risk which all other funds are doing, but look at the return. So this shows the efficiency of the portfolio, efficiency of the fund manager, and how things are moving. And based upon that, we should take a action. Okay, now we should come out of all these funds. These funds, 3-4 funds, all are of similar nature. They have not performed well, and I have shown that most of the portfolios are very, very common. So let's look at the commonality of all these funds. As I have shown you, just see, you have taken 6 funds, but virtually you have just taken 2 funds, sir. A balanced fund which is there, whereby risk reward is on the very, very favorable side, but all other funds, the correlation is very, very high. So if market will move up, all 6 will move in direction. Some will perform better, some will perform to least extent. But overall portfolio is skewed towards as if there are only 1 or 2 funds. There is not 6 funds. So let us just run another portfolio which we back tested, and we found out that what kind of portfolio we can make, and what should have been done. So let me just take you first to the entire portfolio. See, this is just a back tested. Aisa nahi hai ki this return will come. Okay. That this return will come, but at least this portfolio, this diversification will ensure that we will not do bad. This will definitely ensure that we will not do bad. So just look at this portfolio where I have 20% allocation into debt funds, 30, 40% allocation into equities, 15, and one mid-cap fund, 10%, one international fund, 2 balanced fund, as I said, 20, 10, 2 balanced fund, and 10% into gold. So if we simply run this portfolio, or probably any client would have had this portfolio, just look at last 5-year average return would be 11.5%, almost double than the other fund. Where you imagine we have taken 30% debt fund. 30% is debt fund in this portfolio. Virtually there is gold, which is like, does not tend to perform well at certain times. Even if you remove the performance of the gold, still 20% gold, and this balance fund also contains certain element of debt. So 25 to 30% debt fund, still we are able to manage such kind of a performance where the risk is low and the return is high. So idea is not that, you take high risk and high return will come. That does not happen. The idea is that, within the low risk, by taking a low risk, how you can generate a slight higher returns and how you can do that. And that's what asset allocation does. I'll tell you one simple secret is that, 95% of your portfolio return will be determined by asset allocation. And asset allocation does not take 10 more than 10 minutes. Suppose if I sit with a client, 20% debt, 10% gold, equities. So that conclusion that just gets concluded in 10 minutes, not more than that. Where we spend most of our time in terms of selecting a fund. I will say ICICI Blue Chip, he will say SBI Blue Chip, and then the discussion happens. Why not this and why not that? So a lot of discussions happen on that. But 95% your job is being done if you do a proper asset allocation. Funds could be okay, one or two plus minus. That could not, that does not have a, even if in this portfolio, if we take some of the non-performing funds like HDFC Top 100 or some other funds, still portfolio return would be 8% CAGR instead of the current 10% CAGR, which is still better looking at the kind of performance we have had in last 3 years, where overall equities have not performed at all. Only top 10 stocks has performed, TCS and XYZ. The rest have not performed. So now just look at the correlation of this portfolio. Last time we have seen the correlation was very, very high, sub-red tha, almost 90%. But if we look at the correlation of this portfolio, so very different. Only one or two funds are having a similar kind of a portfolio, like ICICI BAF or this Mirai Asset Blue Chip, and this one Kotak Balanced and Mirai Blue Chip. So these, since they are again large cap funds, so in large cap we know that 6, 7, 8 names, bigger names will be there, not people will be there. So that is the way of choosing a fund, so and making a portfolio. As I said, if your asset allocation is okay, suppose one or two equity fund does not perform, still it would be much better than by not doing asset allocation. That is something very, very important. So this is how our approach has been to fund selection, fund criteria. Earlier, as I said, as a financial advisor, we also did a lot of mistakes. Like a common people, we also look at returns. कि कहाँ सबसे ज़्यादा return आ रहा है last year में, and let's try and go with that fund, assuming that that will do good in future. But that does not happen. That does not happen. At times you might be lucky, but at times you might not be lucky. So again, based on the learnings, based upon certain research tools which we are adopting, so all these things have come up. And again, while selecting a fund, now again, there are few softwares, there are few vendors who are providing a score to the respective funds that select this fund. So again, we are also taking those portals so that we can also qualify, take the like quantify the total asset quality of that fund. Now the question says, suppose now the question will come, why I'm selecting a Mirai Asset Blue Chip or why not XYZ Blue Chip? Because of the quality of portfolio. And how do I keep a check on quality of a portfolio? As I said, there are certain vendors who are giving a quality score based upon the profitability of the company, based upon the return on equity, based upon how their prices have moved in last 4 or 5 years. So they are quantifying all these data, which is helping us in terms of selecting the right portfolio. And when the score goes down, next year when we review the portfolio, we will definitely change that fund and we will bring a new fund and replace it with the better funds, like certain funds which are there, like HDFC Top 100. Why it is not performing? Because if you look at as per the data which we get, the quality score, out of 20 parameters, they are getting a score of 13, and Axis Blue Chip has got a score of 16, 17. That is why Axis Blue Chip has performed, because the quality of companies which are there in the portfolio, their profitability is growing very better in a much better way. Their return on equity is very, very high. They have performed better in terms of this turbulent times, be it COVID, XYZ stuff. So based on these parameters, they have done well, and we are getting those quantitative scores and we are mapping it. So this is how the entire portfolio is there, and We can monitor the portfolio, we can review it, how things can go. Just quickly, I'll just run up another portfolio, uh, which we were discussing with one of the client just few days back. So again, so many funds are there. If you see, 14 funds are there, 12 to 14 funds are there. One retirement savings fund. For Kotak, he's having 3 funds. For Birla, again, 3 funds, ICICI long term, L&T. But again, so many funds, but what has been the performance? Last 3 year performance has been very, very unsatisfactory. Last 5 year is good because mid cap, small cap did very, very well. But last 3 years has been very, very bad. Why? Because all equity funds are there. There is no asset allocation, no diversification, and huge volatility in the portfolio. So that is why asset allocation and portfolio rebalancing is very, very important as a overall part. So now I will have more time for Q&A because this is a topic whereby, rather than me speaking, giving answers to people query, I think would be very, very meaningful for them. Yeah. So one question has come. Yash, I'll just like to
Yeah,
take
yeah.
kind of
There were 2 questions. Yeah. So you
one
can.
value versus growth.
Yeah.
See, again, there are two kind of funds. It's a very good question which you have coined, Jay. Two quality of funds are there. Value funds. Value is something which is available cheap. Okay, उसमें value है. जैसे let's take an example L&T. Okay, we know it's a very good company. Company में value है, order book है, everything is there, but stock is not performing. Why? Because profitability is not rising. The contracts execution is having very, very slower execution. They are not able to monetize, get the money from the government. Company like ONGC, again, very good company, high dividend paying company, but professional management, there is an issue. Good value in the companies. Even at 150 rupees, people were suggesting it. Now it is 80 rupees. So again, finding a value for a stock is something very, very difficult, and you can't say whether this is the right value and I should go look by looking at the P or whether it is available cheap by that. Uh, Overall, if you look at last 10 years, 15 years history, those funds which has a portfolio which where the growth is happening, that has been more rewarding when it comes to mutual fund. That they were very rewarding. Look at companies like Bajaj Finance. uh, जिनके portfolio में this Bajaj Finance was there in last 4 or 5 years, that portfolio has done very, very well, although it is an expensive stock, but company has given 30% return year on year. So yes, value is a theme where you can put maybe if you like that theme, you can have one SIP on that value fund. But personally, value is just like a thematic. It does not. It is not a all season kind of a product. A particular time comes when value fund will do very, very well, but you need to be very, very patient. But normally, what I've found that people, investors are not very patient. They will say, "Arey, 3 years ho gaya hai, market has gone up, but this category is not performing, so we need to exit out." So it takes time. And again, selecting the value is not everybody's cup of tea. As I said, ONGC सबको अच्छा लग रहा था 160 में, now it is 80. So what is the right value? You don't know that. So I didn't. So have a model that I will invest in companies where sales is growing. Suppose you are putting your own hard-earned money. आप कहाँ डालोगे? Into a companies where sales is growing, profitability is growing, return on equity is growing, return on equity is more than 15%. You are okay. That okay, things are going good. So that is something. So in my view, you should stick to the growth theme because in the longer term, they translate in creating value for the stock. Rather, I would say that they translate in creating good value for the stock. Next, Anand has question. Oh, Anand is saying excellent depiction. Thank you, Anand ji. How much does fund selection matter given the asset allocation is done? See, as I said, fund selection is 5 to 10%, 90% is asset allocation. But yes, you need to keep and check the quality of the funds. As I said earlier, मैंने बताया, as an advisor, we also used to do that. The fund which has performed well in 3 years, we used to do that without checking the quality, that what is the overall quality of the fund. But right now, even if the performance is slightly low compared to XYZ fund, suppose ABC fund has given 15%, this fund has given 12. But if the quality is good, we suggest that fund because we know when correction will happen, because of the quality stocks, the fall will be less and this fund will be able to compensate the other fund. So that is something very important when you talk about fund selection. So quality देखना है आपको. Fund selection, asset allocation करने के बाद you need to check the quality and you need to do that. There is generally a big difference in different funds. Yes, as you said rightly, this difference was not there, Anand, earlier. But just before me and Yash, we just logged in, and I told Yash in multi-cap category, best performing fund is giving 20% return, and the worst performing fund is given minus 11% return. This has never happened in the history of mutual fund, as you rightly said. But why that fund has given a poor return? Again, because of the quality issues. So once we address that quality, I think ho sakta hai we will not get the best fund 20% return, but we will get the mediocre fund 12, 13, 14, within which whatever the purpose, the way the purpose for which we have invested, we'll be able to do that. But definitely we will not enter into the trap of getting into that poor quality fund, or even if we have selected, we will eventually come out of it looking at the quality score. So that is something very important. Yeah, can you please give an example of selection of proper funds? Uh, uh, Arvind, can you just elaborate this question? Yes, Arvind, if you can unmute. Yash, can you unmute him?
Sure, I'll do that.
Arvind, yeah.
So I've given him the permission to unmute.
Yeah, Arvind, you can just unmute and ask, and you can explain me.
So
Okay,
don't
probably.
no worries. Till then he unmutes. I think you can take the next question.
Okay. So Mayank, the concept of asset allocation. Thanks, Mayank. How do you select the best fund? As I said, Mayank, again, for all the funds, so we have again recently subscribed to a tool where, as I said, say suppose in one particular fund there are 10 companies. That 10 companies, their profitability, their return on equity, their revenue growth is being checked. वो चेक करके एक स्कोर होता है. Say suppose if year on year your profit is growing, your return on equity is growing, your sales are growing, and another 4 parameters they are using. If all those funds they are going, they'll get a score of 4, and they will check these parameters for 5 years. So on a scale of 20, they are being scored. So that is how we select a fund. We come up with a score. So if the score is above 15, 16, that means, out of these 5 years, 4 years they have consistently does well. So एक म्यूचुअल फंड का स्कोर आ जाता है, and we use that score in terms of identifying that particular fund and adding that particular funds in client portfolio. That is a process which we do while selecting a portfolio. So we can definitely help you in terms of analyzing your portfolio. You can share it to us. We would be happy to address and help you in terms of doing that. Rahul is asking for a financial planner. Can you suggest some good books to learn about for financial planning? See, debt market, honestly, there is no such good book on debt market. But on financial planning, there is a super book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Robert Kiyosaki has written that. Okay. That is again a very, very eye-opener book. So you can definitely refer to that book. It's really, really.
That's a must read for everyone.
Yeah.
Very, very.
Because it has changed the way you think. What Robert Kiyosaki said, I'll just give an example. The house where you stay is not an asset. Just imagine, kal ko agar if somebody comes and tell you, Rahul, the home in which you are staying is not your asset, you will say, this guy is talking mad. But what Robert Kiyosaki said, that anything and everything is asset if that particular asset is giving return. The house where you are staying in is not giving you any return. You are paying rent, you are paying, mutation, you are paying electricity bill, you are paying house maintenance cost to your maid, servant, etc. So in that house, you are not getting any return out of it. If you put that house into rent, then you get some return, and that is an asset for you. So when this guy changed the entire definition of asset and liability, everybody just, gone mad, and people really appreciate the way, he explained that. So I'll also share if you're talking about book, then definitely I'll also share a book which I have written recently, Financial Wellness Cinematics. All the financial concepts has been linked to movies. So it has been made very, very interesting. 21 movies, 21 chapters, from Bahubali to to Tiger Shroff's movie, everything. You can refer that. And
That's it.
if you like, you can just give a feedback to me also. Uh, Great. So what is the criteria we see for fund selection? As I said, sir, sales growth, profitability growth, return on equity, free cash flow. So these are the four parameters which is being seen in the stocks which is there in a portfolio. Using that four parameter quantitative measure comes out, and based upon that, a score or a rank is being given to a fund, and based upon that ranking, we select the fund. That is a simple process of choosing a fund based upon the quality stocks. Some good website. Yes, Rupee West is a very, very good website, Rahul. I'll just mention that, RUPEEVEST. Rupee West. Earlier, I used to use Rupee West, but now since we have subscribed to a paid version, where I've shown you the entire portfolio, where you get risk correlation in graphical way, in all whatever ways you want. आप उसको पूरा निचोड़ सकते हो. So now we have migrated to that. So, but for you, in order to analyze, Rupee West is a very good website. It's free. Most of the datas, you can do that. Please suggest model PF for next 5 years. Model PF portfolio, I have suggested, yes. I have also given the asset allocation portfolio, Jay, 20% debt, 10% gold, 10% international fund, and balance split into equities, balanced, and say something into thematic fund, 10%. Like if you like crude as a theme, if you like IT as a theme, you can put money there. Rebalancing pure means like, putting money. Say, suppose, as I said, last year, if somebody has invested into gold fund, what we are suggesting to the client, book profit into gold fund, because you have made 40% gain, and put that money and invest that money into equities, or say, for example, a crude fund, which I'm talking about, because crude oil is available cheap. So idea is book some profit into funds which has performed well, and put into something which is available cheap, so that once वो बढ़ेगा तो आपको return अच्छा आ जाएगा, you will get a decent return, because gold from 50,000 will not become 1 lakh now, but crude which is available at $20 can become $40 very easily. So idea is that some rebalancing is there, and you can come out of it. How and where can we see the risk meter of all the mutual funds? Earlier it was there on Money Control, but now they will again start off giving a risk meter because the SEBI guidelines has changed, and because of that they will come up with a new riskometer. So again, risk is a very, very standard terms. If you look at the parameter which Money Control gives, is a very standard. Equities, it will be very right, एकदम मतलब high risk हो जाएगा. What SEBI has categorized, balance fund should be into moderately high, and debt should be between, depending upon liquid fund too, it will be this. That is something very, very standardized. So their Money Control does not give their own analysis or their own riskometers. So so I think that's just from a regulatory perspective, and that will not help you much. Can you give some good fund name where a person who start as SIP? Yes, definitely. See, as a fund house, 3 fund houses are doing very, very good. Not only the portfolio is doing good, but because the quality is good. I'll not tell you, okay, returns aaya, it's okay. If quality is there, returns will eventually come, but they have done very, very well. Axis as a fund house has done very well. So Axis Blue Chip is there, Axis Multi-Cap, Axis Growth Opportunity funds are good. Mirae as a fund house from last 10 years, I think they have been one of the best fund house. Mirae Asset. Look at any of their fund, Mirae Large Cap, Mirae Emerging Blue Chip, Mirae Focus Fund, which was launched last year. They're doing tremendously well. Why? Because again, they're sticking to that quality theme, growth theme, that wahan growth aana chahiye. So that is where, they have been doing very well. And Parag Parekh is again a very, very good fund house. They don't advertise a lot, but their fund management skill is very, very high. And there they have one fund, Parag Parikh Long Term, which is a globally diversified fund. So some people, if they don't want two, three funds, they just want one fund. So you can put money into this fund. It has international equities. It has investments into Amazon, Amazon, Google, or Microsoft, all these companies. It has domestic equities with a mix of large, mid, and small. So it's a very fairly diversified, globally diversified fund. So that fund house is also doing well. Would have already suggested Sumit DSP World Energy Fund. It's a very good fund. You can put money into that. Rajesh Parekh is saying asset allocation should be changed at interval. Uh, See, asset allocation should not be changed very drastically unless you are finding that some global war is happening and you want to come out of equities. Otherwise, asset allocation should be static. And suppose equities you have put in 20-40% is into equity. If equity has double, so what will happen? Your overall weightage in equity will become very, very high. So you can reduce that weightage and book profit and put it into debt or gold or international fund which has not performed. So that rebalancing you can do maybe once in a year, but it does not make sense to do very, very often. You should not do that. I think once in a year or once in 2 years is decent. It definitely good. Given the suggested allocation in MF, would you still suggest direct equity investing? See, again, these are completely different basket. Direct equity ka comparison, mutual funds can never do if you are investing very, very thoroughly. But what happens in direct equity, Anand, you have a trading mentality. And as I said, the power of compounding उसमें नहीं आता है. SIP में क्या होता है? You keep on investing 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 10 lakhs, and then if real growth happens, that 10 becomes 14 lakh, 20 lakhs. That does not happen into equities because in equities we have a tendency to book profits very, very early. So, but if you are very disciplined in terms of holding good stock for a longer term, definitely, it cannot. It's like you cannot compare both the stuffs, because again you will be having 20 stocks in equity, but once you have a mutual fund, you have almost 30-40 stocks. So risk भी वहाँ कम हो जाता है compared to an equity. But overall, you cannot compare the performance between the two. But yes, if you compare the PMS, अगर आप PMS का comparison करोगे with mutual funds, there is no difference if you look at 5-10 years return. So PMS performance and equity mutual fund performance, 1 to 2% difference is there, not much. So again, PMS are very high. They are very risky also. There are certain PMS which are down 34% even as of today. I'll not name them, but there are certain PMS which are down 30% even today. So, so that's the kind of risk sometimes we involve by investing into stocks, because PMS is the personal, like a personalized portfolio which is being managed. How to zoom ahead in foreign exchange and fixed income? See, again, it's a best stuff. If you can do something in fixed income and foreign exchange, I think there's nothing like it. Foreign exchange market is something. It's like a very, very deep dive exercise, and it's something very, very complex. Even people staying there 20-30 years, they don't. So much of global dynamics plays there, but try and see if you can get a job in a bank treasury or in a bank. So if you are able to get that, I think nothing like it. So just try that. But I think it's a very, very good. And fixed income ka volume dekhoge, it is 20 times more than the equity market. As equity market ka whatever is the volume, fixed income volume is 20 times more than that. So it's a huge, huge market. In fact, I also don't understand fully. What is the prospect of Greater China Equity Offshore Fund? Samir, very good question. In fact, this was a very good fund. This is a good fund managed by JP Morgan. But now I think the time has gone to invest in this fund. When there was this China-US chaos was used to happen, this fund was available very, very cheap. But now they have given 50% return in last 6 months. So again, now it has become expensive. So don't put money right now. If correction happens, you can do that. But yes, it has good investment in companies like Alibaba and good Chinese companies. Very good portfolio. Which technology and digital mutual fund is good? Technology is, if you look at the portfolio, almost everybody has a similar allocation. I recently checked last week, ICICI, they also have 20% allocation to Infosys, followed by TCS. So there is not much variance. You can invest in ICICI, SBI, but yeah, Technology Fund, they also has international fund into that. So they are investing into international companies like Amazon or Microsoft and Alphabet, which is their Google. They are investing into that. So if you want a technology fund with the international allocation, then SBI is having that international allocation. So you can look into that. I think that would be a better one to, you know, yeah. The last fund house, Harsha, which I told is Parag Parekh. So that's a very, very good fund. You can, that's a very good fund. You should have a look at it. They are managing, I'll just write it, Paragparekh, Parag Parekh. So it's a very, very good fund. Very good fund house. Yes, maybe if somebody wants to speak something, unmute, you can just raise your hand.
Lot of questions on Facebook as well. If you
Okay.
want, I can go ahead with them as well.
Okay.
If you answer, because few of them are still left on Zoom. So should I go ahead with the Facebook questions?
Yeah, yes, you can do that. So I'll just give my email ID, mobile number. So some people might have to leave because it is, we are stretching beyond 10.
No, so it's fine. So actually, we carry on till 10:30. So that's not an
Okay,
issue.
great.
That's an exercise. So basically, there one question from two questions are common. One is that whether should we go for debt fund or liquid fund in terms of for investing in terms of 10-20%.
Yeah, debt fund we should go because liquid does not make any sense. They are giving 3.5% return. So liquid mein rakhne se, it's better you keep it in your savings account. I think that's a better option. But debt fund definitely has a potential. But debt again, don't invest in long-term debt funds. I think ultra short-term and low duration. These are certain categories. Low duration is the most preferred at this point of time. So Kotak low duration fund, ICICI floating rate fund, and Birla low duration fund. These are certain good low duration fund where you can put in money and they will give you approximate 6.5% return. They have a potential to give you.
Okay, so there's one more question, that is how much of the how much SIP should a young person start with ideally when say starting? So so few of them were asking कि क्या amount से actually start करना चाहिए.
Yeah,
Ideally.
20 to 30% of your earning. Say suppose if you are getting a salary of 50,000, at least 20 to 30%, depending upon your family commitment. If you can do 30, there is nothing like it. In next 10 years, you can create your own financial clone. This is something I can guarantee you. So 20 to 30 is a perfect. So until if somebody is very young, not married, does not have any family obligation, if he is able to do 30%, superb, nothing like it.
Great.
He
So
can retire 10 years in advance. So, he can retire 10 years in advance.
True. Yeah. Should we allocate some of our portfolio into index fund as well?
Yes, we can do that. So that, as I said, now that 5 to 10%, 10% which I have left for, to decide. So we can put it into index fund, because in long term, I can tell you index fund will also perform at par with the funds. Because what happened 5 years before, a lot of information was not available in the market. Suppose a particular fund manager has a very good, they do very good research in one company, and they have very good information, how things will do up, how results will come. But now the information is so quickly available. Within a fraction of a second, you get a lot of information in WhatsApp group and everything. So because of that, creating that extra alpha for the fund would be slightly difficult. So index fund also makes sense, definitely, in a client portfolio. Yes, that's a very good question.
Great. So there's one question on Zoom. Is there any mutual fund which are investing in startups? I don't think so, maybe.
No, mutual funds are not investing in startups, but there is one PMS of Credent Asset Management. They are investing in startups, and but last 3-year performance has not been very, very good. I don't know how the next 3 year will be. It's Credent Asset Management. So they have a PMS which invests in startup. But again, if somebody is investing in startup, one need to be patient. So you should give 5 to 10%, 5 to 10 years. उस 10 साल में एक ऐसा gem निकल जाएगा that he will just stretch out the underperformance of all other funds. So Credent Asset Management, they are having one PMS on SME companies.
Is there any website where we can do technical analysis of mutual funds?
Technical Money Control is good enough. See, what all technicals you want, you can simply check in Money Control. That is very good. They have almost all the parameters, be it Bollinger Band, moving averages, everything is there. So a normal trader, in fact, for a professional trader also, like, Money Control has given enough tools. So it's free. You can simply do that.
Great.
But again, technical is short term, wealth creation is long term. एक चीज और बता देता हूँ, wealth creation is a very slow process. It does not happen overnight, but once it starts happening, it will multiply at a very, very rapid pace. So come out of the trading mindset and shift to investing mindset. There you will make real money.
True, absolutely. So long-term wealth is created in long term only. Real wealth is created. Short term में आप trading करके पैसा बना सकते हो, but you cannot create wealth in short term. So I think you have answered a lot of questions patiently. So thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation. I think it was great learning for all of the audience. It was great learning for even me in the terms of the asset allocation part, in terms of mutual fund. So of course, I'm a firm believer of that. So once again, thank you so much for giving your time, for giving such a great presentation and teaching the audience to select the right mutual fund, to do the right asset allocation, which I think is the most important thing. Asset allocation, अगर आपने सही कर लिया, तो that fund, I think, does not matter. It is just 5 to 10% of the part. So once again, thank you so much, Saurabh. Some closing words from you in terms of the financial plans and the right funds to use.
No, it was again, thank you, Yash. A lot of inspiration from you. You are really very young, and plus the kind of activity which you are doing, we really get inspired. I know you are just 25 and almost 10 years younger to us, but the kind of efforts, but the kind of efforts that you take and the way you are carrying your show every, week on week. So that is something really very great. I wish you all the very best, and I sincerely feel that your show must go on, because even at 9 p.m. the kind of numbers that you have stretched in both Facebook, and it's really very commendable. And thank you. That shows the way audience stick to your quality presentation the way you are doing it.
So
I'm just sharing my details, Yash. So I'm just sharing my details, email ID, mobile number. So if anybody wish to do your,
if has any queries, any doubts, any things which you want for where to help to, you can definitely contact him. He's a very well-to-do, very generous person, very helpful. So you can contact him anytime for any doubts for your mutual funds, for mutual fund portfolios, and we would be happy to help, I think. Okay. So once again, thank you so much everyone for joining. It was a pleasure hosting you all. It was a pleasure hosting you, Saurabh, for such a wonderful learning in terms of mutual funds, because काफी सारे doubts भी थे जो I think सबके मन में clear हो गए कि किस तरह से हमें asset allocation करना चाहिए, किस तरह से हमें rebalancing करना चाहिए. So once again, thank you so much everyone for joining. It was a pleasure to host you all. Next week again we'll have a great speaker. Next week we are starting with a young series. I'm trying to bring speakers who are my age, who are aged less than 25. So we'll have some great speakers who have created wealth and who have been doing some great work in the market. So I'll see you all next week also at 9 o'clock. But before that, do take care of yourself. Just try to stay at home. Try to always encourage us for the wonderful feedbacks which you are giving, for which you are.
In fact, I'm really, I really appreciate all the people and the kind of response that we are getting. Nice session, good sessions. Thank you. And this is really motivating for both of us, me and Yash.
Absolutely. So that motivates me every day to come to bring a new speaker like you who shares his knowledge, who shares his wisdom, who shares his experiences in such a beautiful way, so that we all get to learn practically. And so that's the motivation. That's the motivation which should go on for all of us. So that thank you so much for sharing your blessings, for sharing your feedbacks. Keep joining our knowledge groups, because there we share a lot of data, a lot of analysis on markets, a lot of great work is done by our team to share some great insights on market. And of course we are uploading these videos on our YouTube channel one by one. so you can access them anytime and you can watch them, because there's been a lot of learnings from them. I've got some great feedbacks that after seeing the videos, some people have they have improved a lot in their trading as well as investing skills. So thank you so much once again for joining. I'll see you all next week. Till then, take care, bye bye, and have a great trading as well as investing week ahead. Take care. Signing off, Yash.